Because boy howdy, are we going to talk about some topics today. We're gonna be talking about some online content creators. And we might not be making very many friends. Alright? Might not be making that many friends. Hey, Nindrine. So, y'all. Those of you who were here several days ago may recall that I covered a certain gentleman calling into Vosh Vidya's program, right? And that gentleman goes by the name of Mr. Girl. And you might also recall that this conversation that took place between Mr. Girl and Vosh made it painfully obvious that Mr. Girl has a very disgusting attraction for underage girls. In fact, Vosh hung up the conversation when he started asking Vosh what he thinks 15-year-olds in a strip club, what color their panties would be. You know? Pretty obvious to me as someone looking in on that conversation. Pretty obvious to me that Mr. Girl is someone who is absolutely not safe for anyone to be around. And unfortunately, that didn't seem to be the takeaway that a lot of people had online. Let me put it this way. A lot of people did have that takeaway. I don't want to be unfair. But there was another section of human beings on Twitch who thought it was just a good laugh, that it was a real darn tootin' good time. You know how when you and the boys get together and you just have a good laugh about the color of underage girls' panties. You know, one of those real good guffaws about that. Are we going to talk about the very tanky take that Hans had? Well, we talked about that a little bit, and I'm going to go into it a bit here, too. But, when we're talking about this, okay? I want you to keep in mind that people are going into this conversation knowing who Mr. Girls is, or Mr. Girl, and what he said. And these are the reactions that we're seeing from a lot of different people online, and frankly, it's fucking disgusting. Alright. Let's make sure we change the monitor. There we go.
Most interested in.
What color, if you had to guess what color their underwear would be, Flash, what would you say?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dude, I don't know, dude.
You see that?
I don't know. I don't know if he's just in public or what. I think that guy is funny as hell. I'm sorry, dude. Comedy is dead. I think that shit is funny as fuck, dude. I'm sorry, dude. I'm an edgy ass dude. That shit is fucking hilarious. I think that shit is hilarious.
Most interested in.
What color, if you had to guess what color their underwear would be, Flash, what would you say?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just going to let it play again.
Dude, I don't know, dude.
You see that?
I don't know. I don't know if he's just in public or what. I think that guy is funny as hell. I'm sorry, dude. Comedy is dead. I think that shit is funny as fuck, dude. I'm sorry, dude. I'm an edgy ass dude. That shit is fucking hilarious. I think that shit is hilarious.
Yes, a man who has spent the last 30 minutes or so shoehorning pedophilia into a conversation, finally talking about underage girls in a strip club and talking about what color their panties would be. What a good joke. What a hilarious setup and payoff. You know, the punchline about the panties is just really hits home, you know? It's so fucking funny, guys. Except it's not a joke. It's not like a joke. And I'm gonna talk about that a bit more because I was bothered by this. Not only because, you know, we got a lot of people in the spheres of politics on Twitch who have now watched that debate. And to me, I watched that debate and I go, man, that guy's really fucked up. I hope he's not, you know, being platformed by anybody. Oops.
I don't believe that.
Oops. We got, guess Stardust had to have Mr. Girl on her show.
They call you a nonce? I don't believe that.
No, they don't call me that. They do waterboard me though.
It's weird. Nonce is a weird one. It's said with such conviction.
Yeah.
When I think British people don't understand that it has no emotional impact whatsoever here. It's like getting called like an apple. Like it doesn't mean anything to me. I know what it means, but like it doesn't.
Yeah.
It has no emotional resonance to an American. It's like doesn't mean anything. But it's said so with so much weight.
Yeah. Child logic. Why?
They call you a nonce? I don't believe that.
No, they don't call me that.
So, you know, I guess the logical reaction here to seeing somebody out themselves as someone who finds children very attractive is to invite them on your fucking show. And now you might be like, oh, but Jack, he was just doing a really funny bit about the color of underage girls' panties. It was just a really funny bit. Now, you might remember in the conversation he had with Vosh, he mentioned a YouTube video that he got kicked off of YouTube for. A review of the film Cuties. Now, I, of course, was like, I'm going to go and look and see if I can watch this review. How bad could it be? Chat, we're not going to watch the entire thing because I'm pretty sure I'd get banned off of Twitch for showing it. But I am going to show you approximately 30 seconds of it. Here is Mr. Girl talking about the film Cuties, which is about 11 and 12-year-old girls dancing. Oh, it's muted.
Right off the bat, just first impressions regarding the controversy. This film does try to make you sexually aroused by 11-year-olds. And I'll say it's not bad at it. It's not a total failure in that regard, at least for me. Your mileage may vary. I want to say that if you are concerned about people treating this as child pornography, there are probably thousands of people masturbating to this film as we speak.
What a funny bit he's doing. What relevant. Can we have a reaction to that clip? Can we have a good guffaw about that one, relevant? What is it you said?
That guy is funny as hell. I'm sorry, dude. Comedy is dead. I think that shit is funny as fuck, dude. I'm sorry, dude. I'm an edgy ass dude. That shit is fucking hilarious. I think that shit is hilarious.
What? So funny. So fucking funny. What a fucking hilarious moment we are all having together. Isn't that right, chat? I showed those clips and you all just broke out LMFAOing. You couldn't stop laughing in chat. I saw all of you typing LOL. Oh wait, none of you did that because you're sane individuals? Wowee. Wow. You know what? You know what else we'll do? You know what? I wonder if we can find out more about this Mr. Girl person. I wonder what we might find if we look into it. Oh, what? He put out an album where he talks about being sexually attracted to children? Of course he did. Of course. He has an entire fucking album where he makes music about being attracted to underage children. What, you say? How could that be? How is that possible? I'm not gonna play the music, but I'm going to say, here are the names of the songs. I can fantasize about whatever I want. I kill pedophiles. What makes me horny? Hi, cuties. Boundaries. Scapegoat. One More Day, and Emily Dickinson. What a good bit. I do not want to listen to these songs because I've looked at the lyrics to a couple and they are not good. Now, of course, you might be like, well, maybe he has a long history of making provocative comments, as he himself says. Well, yes, he does indeed have a long history of making provocative comments. In 2007, he was arrested. He was arrested, chat, for saying he too has felt the rage that would lead him to murder 32 people. He said this in his college classroom to all of his classmates and his teacher the day after the Virginia Tech shooting, which led to him getting arrested because his classmates feared for their lives. Now you might be like, oh, well, he was just doing another funny bit. He was, he just wanted to, talk about empathizing with the shooter. He wanted to, let's get into the head of the shooter to figure out how we can prevent this from happening. In fact, he made an AMA about it on Reddit. He made a fucking AMA on Reddit. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Let's read what he had to say about it. This is the first time I've spoken publicly about the whole affair. I posted a video about it today, but here's the TLDW. I'm in a women's studies class. The day after the shooting, our professor asked us to discuss and try to understand the Virginia Tech shooting. After hearing the usual thoughts and prayers from my classmates, I suggested we'd be better served by empathizing with the shooter, his anger and isolation, and use that as a framework for coming up with changes we can make to our education system that might actually help prevent shootings in the future. I said we've all had violent thoughts, and if we pretend we haven't, we're lying. We live in a violent society, the US, and humans are violent animals. Instead of pretending that isn't the case, we should figure out why that violence is being directed towards institutions like schools, especially huge, crappy schools that dehumanize their students. Rather than engage me in an intellectual way, the teacher announced that I had raised the specter of the possibility that I was going to murder all my classmates on Thursday. I said this was not going to happen, but because of my history of writing politically incorrect things, the chair of the Women's Studies Department, not present in class, called the police and told them that I'd threatened to kill everyone. I spent the night in jail, was barred from campus for 10 weeks, only to be let back in after psychological evaluation. Now, you might be like, I wonder if there's more to that story. And yes, dear viewer, there is. Here is a quote from the Associated Press that wrote a story about it. During a discussion of the shooting in a gender and race class, Max Carson made comments sympathetic to the Virginia Tech shooter. Again, this was the day after the shooting, saying, if anyone in here says that they've never been so angry that you, and this is a quote, if anyone in here says that they've never been so angry that you wanted to kill 32 people, you're lying. And that he said he was, and I quote, angry about all kinds of things, from fluorescent light bulbs to unpainted walls, and it made him angry enough to kill people. Carson was also reportedly asked, quote, would you kill all of us, unquote. His response, and this is a direct quote, no, not all of you. What a hilarious man. What a good bit. What a history. What a provocative thing to say. Wow. I can't. Truly, Twitch politics has really encountered the true comedic genius of our times. Really pushing the boundaries on this one. Yeah, the whole squad's just dying of laughter. Wowee. Now, you might be wondering, oh, well, you showed us that one bit from the Cuties review. I mean, was that the only thing that he said in that video? No, there's more, and I'm not going to show the footage of it because it's disgusting, but I will read these quotes to you. Let's see. As far as sexy music videos go, it's not bad, he says while licking his lips. Here's another quote. TikTok, there's some pretty interesting stuff on there that I've checked out. And then there's also this other quote. You'll see them shaking their booties on this stairway as they make this viral video. And they're pretty hot. And you can say whatever you want about me. It's not my fault. I didn't make them do that. They did that. Yeah, it's the fault of the 11-year-old girls in the movie that you are that you are looking at them sexually. It's their fault. That they really just had it coming. For like Jesus Christ. I'm sorry, like, I found all of this within, like, I don't know, maybe 2 hours. Maybe do a basic Google search on the fucking person you're gonna invite on your fucking shows. Maybe do a basic Google search before you're like, yeah, at least this man's intellectually consistent. So, you know, he's doing a good. Also, fun fact, there's more! Because he does have a history of saying politically provocative things. In fact, he has personally uploaded his entire fucking history of newsletters from a publication called The Yeti. And, well, let's just say some of this is pretty grotesque. And I'm going to read one of the newsletter entries right now. Judge for yourself. This is The Yeti 1 from September 2006. I have a new theory about why girls don't like me. It's a bit more sophisticated than my previous attempts at explaining this phenomenon, which ran along the lines of girls don't like me because they're stupid, or girls don't like me because they can't understand that leg humping is just a way of saying hi. While these remain valid points to consider, I think my new theory really hits the nail on the head. Girls don't like me because I make them think. Contrary to popular belief, girls don't actually like it when you're unique or interesting or when you ask them questions and listen to their answers. Every single time I meet a girl, once we get past all the "what's your major, where are you from" crap, and I steer the conversation towards something deeper like politics, religion, sex, anal sex, etc., she unfailingly loses all interest in me. For example, take this girl I met during orientation. We'll call her Fido. During our first advisory meeting, I teased her a few times and we giggled loudly for most of the meeting, much to the annoyance of our advisor, the hilariously named Patty Berger. Then I spent the remainder of summer break sitting on the floor of my unfurnished dark apartment, fantasizing about being friends with Fido. I can remember more glorious days when I used to fantasize about having sex with all the girls I met in class. Now I get off on the idea of making a friend. Anyways, the week of obsessive exercise and joyless masturbation went by, and school started. My prayers were answered. I have 2 classes with her, and she wanted me to sit with her. We got along really well at first. We discussed our mixed feelings about CU, our screwed up parents, why we wanted to be psychologists, and other interesting, engaging topics. That's when I noticed the girl sitting on my other side. We'll call her Cookie. Cookie is very pretty. She smiled at me. I was filled with euphoria. She and I chatted briefly, but I mostly was interested in Fido. Cookie stayed quiet, and every once in a while I would turn and say something friendly to her, which she would excitedly gobble up. I enjoyed this moment of popularity as best I could, even though I knew that once we actually got a chance to talk, I would ask them really personal questions and tell them my nightmares and eventually give them a play-by-play of my preteen homoerotic experiences. It's like I have Tourette's, only worse. Our break between classes lasted 45 minutes, but it only took about 10 for both of them to stop liking me. I noticed the first marked decline in my popularity when they asked if I drink a lot, to which I responded that I don't drink at all. They began to regard me with suspicion. Fido proudly stated that she likes to black out almost every night. This put Cookie at ease somehow. My abstinence must be more off-putting than her alcoholism simply because it's less common. Fido asked me if I don't drink for religious reasons. I said I wasn't religious. Cookie, a Catholic, nervously shifted closer to Fido and asked her if she was religious. But Fido was an atheist too. Cookie looked like the Pope at a gay bar. Now they don't like me or each other. The atmosphere had become quiet and uncomfortable, so I decided to lighten things up with an anecdote. I told them about the time that my freshman year roommate at CSU went to the director of housing and told him that he wanted me to be kicked out of our room because he thought I was watching him sleep and trying to see him naked when he got dressed in the morning. Fido and Cookie apparently failed to realize how funny my story was. Instead, they looked at the ground uncomfortably. As I sat between them, in awe of the unbelievable discomfort I had just caused them, some guy waved to Fido from the steps in front of our classroom. She waved back. Fido was excited and relieved to see him. She introduced us. His name is Asshead. We shook hands. I instantly hated Asshead. For some reason, probably because I have no friends, I sat with them. Asshead immediately started talking. He talked about himself, and movies he's seen, and TV shows he's watched, and classes he's taking, and parties he's been to, and he just talked and talked and talked. The girls were completely entranced, and they didn't pay any attention to me at all during his monologue. I was fuming. My mind was going a mile a minute, wondering how this complete tool could possibly be more interesting to any girl than me. He didn't even treat them like human beings. He didn't make eye contact with them. He didn't listen to anything they said, and he never asked them a single question. That's when it hit me. Girls like Asshead because he doesn't ask them questions. They're more comfortable with him because he doesn't listen when they speak. There's no pressure on them to think of interesting things to say because he doesn't want them to say anything at all. They just have to sit there and point their breasts at him and smile that fake, toxic smile. And then I could see why, in a world where women are powerless objects, it's easy for Fido and Cookie to seek approval from Asshead, a guy who expects them to be objects, and hard to talk to me, a smart, attractive, funny, sensitive, attentive, honest guy who pushes girls to think and asks them questions that are hard to answer, like, what do you want to do with your life? Or, can I borrow some of your dirty underwear? That's right, friends and neighbors, I can't get chicks because I'm a feminist. Did he say that all ironically? Well, definitely there were people at his college who interpreted it as him being, very funny. It was all very ironic. You know, it's super edgy comedy, guys. You wouldn't get it. You know, it's super edgy comedy along the lines of like, wow, 11-year-old girls are so sexy. You know, I don't have the words for it. Irrelevant, can you help me out here? Can you help me out, Irrelevant? What is this guy like again?
Dude, comedy is dead. I think that shit is funny as fuck, dude. I'm sorry, dude. I'm an edgy ass dude. That shit is fucking hilarious. I think that shit is hilarious.
Thanks, Irrelevant. You're a real gem. Yeah, he's like a pedo Elliot Rodger. He is kind of. Yeah. Down to the point where people thought he was gonna do a mass shooting. Now, you might be like, well, clearly that's it, right? Well, the other one that I have access to here, is from October of 2006. I'm not gonna read the entire thing. But, I'll read you the first couple of paragraphs here. I'm afraid of black people. I mean, I don't cross the street or anything when I see one coming, but they definitely make me uncomfortable, especially black men, especially the real dark ones. I'm not sure why. I've never been in a fight with a black person or an altercation of any kind. And when I was a kid, my best friend was black, and my first kiss was with a black girl. We were 7 years old, huddled under a big tire on the playground that always smelled like pee. It was very romantic. She told me she wanted to French kiss, except she didn't really know what French kissing was, so when I stuck my tongue in her mouth, she totally freaked out. But I guess most of my sexual experiences end up with me doing something unexpected, and a girl running away screaming. And it goes on, of course. Or there's this lovely example. This girl said to me the other day, "So you bout to get wifed up real fast." She meant I was going to quickly acquire a girlfriend, but it took me several seconds to understand what words she had actually used, and then I had to decode them. What a great comedy bit. Anyway, there's 30 pages of this uploaded to Scribd. And you can look at it for yourself, alright? There you go. There, you can check all those out. All of it uploaded by him for you to look at. This guy is so sick for attention. And honestly, I feel bad that I'm giving him this attention, but really, it's not the attention that I'm giving him that I'm concerned with. I want people on this platform to know who the fuck this guy is, so they stop inviting him on their fucking shows. Why the fuck are you platforming a man who, again, has said that underage girls are really attractive? Again, I refer you to this clip from his video that he wrote out beforehand and thought about and still released publicly.
Film does try to make you sexually aroused by 11-year-olds. And I'll say it's not bad at it. It's not a total failure in that regard, at least for me.
Why you having this motherfucker on your shows? Why are you giving him props for being honest about his position? What the fuck is wrong with you? How riddled with brainworms have you become? How obsessed with clicks do you have to be where you're willing to expose your audience to this man's ideas in an uncritical way? You're willing to talk with him. You're willing to have him on your show and be like, haha, super friendly. This man is a literal danger to children. And I would argue a danger to your audience. Now, I also have to tell you guys, unfortunately, this man has a Twitch channel. This man has repeatedly, talked about how sexy underage girls are, has attempted to sexualize 15-year-old girls, has explicitly sexualized 11 and 12-year-old girls. Yeah, no, he has a Twitch channel. Here's a clip from it. This is his age of consent hot take.
I think it should be 17. I think the age of consent in places where it's 16 should probably be raised to 17 because of the internet. 16-year-olds and adults, there's a lot of secret access people have to kids now. So 17, maybe even 18. I think places where the age of consent is 18 should stay 18. I don't think there's any reason to lower it, but I think 16 should probably come up to 17. That's where I am on that. 16-year-old kids are retarded. Someone.
Yeah. Says the man who, again, and I want to remind you, said this. Don't you ever fucking forget it.
Right off the bat, just first impressions regarding the controversy. This film does try to make you sexually aroused by 11-year-olds. That if you are, your mileage may vary. I want to say that if you are concerned about people treating this as child pornography, there are probably thousands of people masturbating to this film as we speak.
Anyway, he goes by Mr. Girl Returns. Encourage you all to let Twitch know that this man has been arrested for mass shooting comments, has has a long history of making incredibly racist, incredibly sexist remarks, has a history of talking about how sexy underage girls are, and probably that Twitch shouldn't have anything to fucking do with this man. Oh, well, you know the people. You know these people that are defending him. I wonder who they are. I wonder if we can maybe look at where they're coming from here. I wonder if we look here. Some of the responses here. Let's take a look at the comments under this clip. What's this? Oh, look, it's the account come from @McLollyburger. I think we have a pretty good idea of where people who follow this guy and think he's really funny stand. I think we have a pretty good idea of where Mr. Girl is coming from. And I think we have a pretty good idea of the people who are really into his content are coming from. Yeah, anime profile pics. And hey, guess what? People who are willing to put in the time to make fake Twitch accounts to raid into my stream to talk about how it's okay that he's sexualizing children. That is the state of his fucking community. Yeah, big yikes. And you know what? Here are a few more of his absolute bangers of comment from his newsletter. All right. Here are some quotes. There's nothing wrong with being gay in private. We've all seen it, right? The gay guys hugging by the fountain as if it were the most normal thing in the world. The smug lesbians walking around holding hands and smiling just to make a political statement. My dear gay readers, I ask you, why must you display affection for each other in public, knowing full well that it will offend the rest of us? And here's another quote from another one of his newsletters. Women are pussies. Tell me, what animal cuts itself in a middle school bathroom? Have you ever heard of a squirrel taking diet pills? Do you see monkeys covering their ugly faces with even uglier makeup? It's not women's fault they're pussies, and yet I hate them all the same. What good guffaws? What good guffaws we're all having over these quotes from Mr. Girl Returns. I am so fucking disappointed with people on this platform. You know, I could understand that people wanted to have, you know, political debates from all sides of the political spectrum. I just didn't think that people would be going so low that they wanted to have fucking pedophiles come on their programs and talk about how great it is to, like, molest kids and how sexy children are. Yeah, Mr. Girl needs actual therapy. And should probably not be allowed within a mile of any kind of park, and probably also shouldn't have internet access. I'm just going out there. He should probably be on some kind of list or registry of some kind that prevents him from being anywhere near children ever again. And the fact is, I'm showing you stuff from 2006. And we've covered stuff from 2006 to when he got arrested in 2007. And he continued doing this stuff until, like, for a long time. He got involved in some, like, short films, indie films and stuff. And then he tried to make a go of it on YouTube. And he just fucking sucked at it. He fucking sucked at it. And in order to get more clicks on his shit tier content, he decided the best way to go about it would be to start talking about how sexy children were. You know, he probably figured he had nothing left to lose, and he might as well just, like, talk honestly about what he's in, what he's into, you know? And the worst elements of online political discourse have now latched onto this man as just being comedic gold. He's just been so funny. All Relevant really put it well. You know, really hit the nail on the head with this one.
I don't know if he's just in public or what. I think that guy is funny as hell. I'm sorry, dude. Comedy is dead. I think that shit is funny as fuck, dude. I'm sorry, dude. I'm an edgy ass dude. That shit is fucking hilarious. I think that shit is hilarious.
You know, some wise people once said, believe people when they tell you who they are. And this man has been pretty consistent for the last, 15 years, talking about how sexy he finds children. How infantilized women are super attractive. How, like, in his newsletter in 2006, he was talking about, how he wanted to regale these peers with talk about his preteen sexual experiences, and he wanted, and his revelation was that women are happy not thinking. He really matured into liking immature women, we could say. I'm sorry. Like, I don't know why Destiny initially had him on. But, let's assume Destiny had no idea about this guy's past, okay? He's just Mr. Girl's just a random guy calling in. You know? Okay, I'm not going to point a finger at Destiny here. But I am going to point a finger at every motherfucker on this platform who is subsequently, after he went on with Vosh and talked about how 15-year-old girls' panties look, has decided to platform him and decided to try and rehab him and decided that they had to give him credit for being a fucking pedophile. Have I read this personal life section on his YouTube fandom wiki? Oh god. I did not read that. What the fuck? Also, I'm not sure if I'm not 100% sure that this being sourced by things written by him I think we should probably take this with a grain of salt, okay? Since he's the one providing this information. But that being said, this is what he claims his personal life has been like. Max was raised by a single mother. She was abusive to him, and when he was 16, she kicked him out so he could live with his dad. This was partly because she was sexually attracted to him and didn't want to hurt him. In school at age 15, Max tried to become a journalist by handing out newsletters containing his opinions on current events, but was unsuccessful. He revealed all this in a video, "This monster I've been fighting my whole life." Keep in mind, all of that information about his mom being attracted to him is sourced by him personally. Who knows if that's actually accurate or not. All of the links go to his own videos. Exactly. He's the one sourcing information on himself. And I think maybe he's not the most accurate purveyor of info on actual facts about his life. This is still terrifying? Well, yeah. People thought he was a fucking school shooter. One hand wonder. I would prefer to live in a system that allows him to come forward and get help. But I think that's a very different thing from, like, I think there's a world of difference between saying pedophiles should be able to come forward and get help from medical professionals without being, like, judged or, like, thrown to the wolves or whatever. And I think there's a big world of difference between that and, like, saying, yes, it's good for pedophiles to be on YouTube talking about how they want to abuse children or how sexy children are, etc., etc., etc. Yes, Big Orange Jew. I looked at that already. Saying that pedophiles should be able to get medical treatment is not in any way comparable to saying pedophiles should be able to go be platformed specifically because they're talking about pedophilia and how edgy they are. How fucking funny it is that they're talking about how pedophilic they are. That's okay, Big Orange Jew. I appreciate the effort. Oh yeah, no, I'm well aware. His platforming is giving him a lot of viewers from the worst people who just think it's so funny that he's just an out pedophile. What a good bit he's found. Oh, I'm sure he's talked about that with Destiny, Cassie, and Eves. But this did shine a light on someone who seems to be self-reporting. That is true. No, One Hand Wonder. No. What the fuck? You get medical help from a medical professional. You don't go on fucking Twitch, and then other people don't go on to platform you on Twitch to talk about how you're a fucking pedophile. This isn't him coming forward. This is him building a new career because his YouTube got repeatedly shut down for violating content policy regarding nudity for underage girls. Jesus. I get so mad, right? Because there are circumstances in which you should extend charitability to people. There are circumstances in which you should, make a good faith effort to, understand where someone's coming from, right? But the only way you can interpret the things he said is that he is very much interested in sexually abusing children. Yeah, but one hand wonder if the... Yes, it's very obvious that he needs help, but it's also very obvious that he's not trying to get that help. What he's trying to do is build a community around himself that is supportive of the thing he wants to do. That's what he's doing. That's why he has people following him and commenting on his stuff called, Captain Lollyburger or whatever. It's not like platforming him is helping him. He has already received a huge bump in acknowledgement and social power on this platform and elsewhere from him being platformed. It is, in fact, helping him if he's not facing consequences for talking about how he is sexually attracted to children. Oh, helping him as in medical help. Gotcha. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to be linking this Cuties review to Twitch right now. Who am I talking about? A Twitch streamer by the name of Mr. Girl. You're welcome. Michael Mistaken, it's frankly infuriating beyond belief that, it seems like this is a pretty unique take that I'm providing. Was really toxic during 2016 whenever the accusation of, or what to do, child predators came up on right-wing YouTube, and if you ever wanted a creep to get help, you were seen as defending them. Oh yeah, Ienzo, people will still posture about how they, will still posture about, oh, I'd fucking kill a pedophile, but, yo, dudes like this show up, will just openly be like, yeah, what color do you think a 15-year-old girl's panties are? And every single one of those right-wing fucks is just like, yep, he's cool. Let me rephrase, Lady Ringcloud. I am going to personally report this guy. For all of the reasons I mentioned. You all do what you want. Or what you believe is right.
Sure. Yeah, with...
There shouldn't be, what'd you say? I've seen no moral or legal argument about why...
The medical terminology...
Yes, should be treated as though they're 100%
Sexuality.
good. And
goes beyond sickness. I mean, that you mean my dad looking at fuck, and I think there's, for instance, out of that should
it should be legal, but we should be like, hey,
you could raise
Dad,
it, and you can do whatever you want with Lolly or Shota, but then
a string of strip clubs.
12-year-olds. You can always
Here's the
work your
thought.
way around that crap.
Here's a thought experiment.
I mean, look at it this way, Hell's Fortune. Look at it this way. This whole thing makes it a lot easier. A lot easier to tell who is worth watching on this platform. You know? So much easier. Mint Kuro, we were covering Mr. Girl. The guy who debated Vosh a few days ago. And enjoy Drill Kill. I'm not feeling fur babies right now. He debated Vosh a few days ago, and this is about DGG pedo platforming. Yes, it is. And I would really like it. I would really, really like it if we stopped trying to rehab the worst people. You know, it'd be great if Destiny could stop his little side project trying to rehab Lauren Southern, because it ain't working, okay? The other night, he was on a panel with Lauren Southern and several other women, one of whom is like Brittany Venti, I think her name is, and she's just awful. She's just awful. Just awful. This feels like Lauren Southern? Yeah, Lauren Southern is another example. Lauren Southern, however, is not a pedophile, but she's also pretty goddamn awful. Hey, Crime 1 Million. I'm a little heated. Yep. Look, if you're so thirsty for content that you're going to kowtow to a fucking pedophile, like, yo, your content blows, bro. Your content blows. Cowpoker, we're talking about Mr. Girl. Yeah, same Mint Kuro. I think people who are pedophiles should get medical help. Constantly. And I think that those people should also probably not build an entire platform about how pedophilia is actually good. Yeah, like, exactly, Enki Ray. There is a time and a place. My job is not rehabbing pedophiles, and neither should anybody on this platform. Nobody on this platform, nobody on YouTube, none of you are, like, qualified to be doing this. The qualified people, they're fucking, they work as therapists. They work as psychologists. God, these people are real mad. These people are real big mad. These people are big mad that I called out a pedophile. Jesus. Yeah, one hand wonder, there's a time and place, though. There's a time and place. And rehabbing isn't something that's done on a public platform for a reason. There's a reason when somebody goes to rehab, they're not, like, live streaming on Twitch the entire time and talking about how great it is that they love the thing that they're going to rehab for. You know? Come on now. Why are so many follows happening right now? Because people are big mad that I talked about this guy being a pedophile. And they're hate following my channel so they can be assholes later.